Alright, today another video, something a bit different this time, because my biggest obsession in life is probably music, and there's this one quote by Snow that basically sums up my attitude towards music.
What keeps you alive?
4 big bottles of water a day, 2 packs of Marlboro Reds, and what keeps me alive? Shit. Music. I have to listen to music all day long. I'd say that keeps me going. I'm a pretty dark person. I've thought about ending it a million times, and I have to say that music keeps me here. By far, the main thing. That's what I wish I did do was music, but I just haven't got there yet. Maybe one day.
I have quite an eclectic taste in music, and besides that, it's always changing. I'm never satisfied. I always want to find something new, and that's why my music rotation is always changing. Every week or so I listen to new stuff. So I wanted to give a quick rundown of some of the music that I've been listening to the last couple of weeks. It is quite the list. It ranges from hip-hop to house to, I don't know, old Italian swing music. So I just decided to make a video about some of the stuff that I think is really interesting, and maybe you guys want to check it out for yourself. Discover some new stuff, something you might be interested in, or something you haven't thought about at all. So first up is Lucki, formerly known as Lucki X, and he's a Chicago rapper. And his music has a very slurred but also melodic feel to it. And his latest project, Freewave 3, has been highly anticipated, at least by those who give a shit about him. And I would say his music from Freewave 3 falls in that same category. A few of the songs on that, basically I listened to the entire album, but some of them that stand out to me are Politics, Glory Boy, More Than Ever, Of Course You Won't, Out of My Way, For You City Girl, and what else? Peach Dream. I love Peach Dream. I think that's a great track. There's another song which is produced by Earl Sweatshirt called All In, also worth checking out, especially if you're into Earl Sweatshirt as well. Oh yeah, Lucki, Freewave 3, that's been in my rotation a lot.
Me, you did the cool, so I look back again, tell me something. I start popping the blues like all on accident. Yo, per 30 what, that's right, my medicine. Yo, what you said gotta be true, that's my rappy kid. You know I fuck with you, you got me mad confused, you know.
Next up is a few people that most people who are into this type of genre are kind of familiar with, and they are UnoTheActivist and Thouxanbanfauni. I think Uno is related to Playboi Carti, I'm not sure. Might be his cousin or something. That's what I heard, but I have no clue whether that's true or not. But yeah, like I mentioned, I think most people who kind of know about Playboi a bit more in depth and also know about Uno and Fauni. I figured they would have blown up a bit more than they have over the last 2 years, I would say. They released a collaborative project called For Christ's Sake 2, and it's filled with typical Uno and Fauni tracks. Standouts to me are I'm the Shit and Burnout. There's a few more on there, but these, off the top of my head, I would say these two, and they have great production, it's what you expect from a UnoTheActivist song project.
Burning out that Hellcat, I'm speeding in that demon. Turn the AC on, the cool on my heat. Hurry your AV gone, now my wrist got a new mirror. Now you wanna make peace and you were so sincere. You're super sweet, talking this beef and it's crystal clear.
Another quick throw-in is Cdot Honcho. He's another Chicago rapper, but he's more drill, and he released a song recently called Still a Takeover. Nothing really unique about it. It is a drill song, so if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But the beat on this song is the hardest thing I've heard in a while, and for some reason I keep coming back to it and keep listening to it.
Listerine, peppermint, spearmint, and Mr. Clean. Never in class, I was with the dean. If I wasn't in there, was running up green. You running here, hollows running between your ass. He think I had to go seek your ass. If we ain't got it, we beat your ass. I sit back, she suck me, I squeeze her ass. While we in traffic, just breeze it past. Party track, honky, can't nobody.
Then we have ASAP Ant, and he released a project called Addie Pitino recently, and it has a lot of great cuts. Let me think of a few. Purge Button, WCW Mayhem, Glamour, Wakanda. Basically, I listened to the entire project, but like I mentioned, these are the ones that just come to mind the fastest. I would say he's been doing his own thing for a couple of years now, because he's always been sort of the black sheep of the ASAP family. Not in a negative way, but he's always been doing his own thing, more or less. He's been putting on a lot of artists from his area. I think one of them is called Soda and Lulu P. Whatever. Yeah, I think they're heavily featured on this album as well. And the thing that stands out to me the most about ASAP and his music as of late is his production. I think he works with a few amazing producers, Lord Fubu and AR. This one fits right in. It's the same type of feel to it, and yeah, I really enjoy it thus far.
Hop in the boots from China. Top floor P at the purse button. What? 3-hour flights later, man. You already know we still sipping this codeine, still rolling these sheets of funnel, man. DJ Nick with me. What?
Lastly, in terms of hip-hop rap, I want to give a quick shout out to ScHoolboy Q. He released his new single Numb Juice, and it's been about, I want to say, 3 years since his latest project. But yeah, it's always great to have new Q music. I think he's an amazing artist as well. I'm looking forward to what else he's gonna release in the future.
Two-door coupe, hopping out like Jack in the Box, nigga, I'm gon' shoot. If the sturdy's all that I got, nigga, time's up. Got my coins up, my bars up. Soon we find them, we gon' slide them, we lined them, straight reclined them. Pistol grip, I got them kinds of, I'm not...
Next one is a bit of a mix between genres. It's like EDM, hip-hop combined. It's Brodinski. He's a French DJ, producer. I think he also owns a record label, but he's been mixing a lot of his traditional EDM production with more hip-hop inspired vocals. So he's done a lot of work with Hood Rich Pablo One. I think he got 21 Savage for some of his projects, and I think in general the entire Atlanta scene. I think he's been doing a lot of work with artists from around that area. If you don't know about Brodinski, he's similar to the likes of Geschaffelstein. I think he's most known for his production on Yeezus, mainly Black Skinhead, and there was another track, Send It Up. Not quite sure, but I think those two. I know for sure Black Skinhead and then maybe Send It Up. The song that I've been listening to a lot lately is off his solo project called Brava, which released in 2015, I believe. And there's this one song called Us, which features Bloody J. And it's very flowy and melodic, but it's still a hard-hitting synth record. And yeah, I think just like all the other stuff I mentioned, the entire project is worth checking out. But what I'm listening to right now is mainly Us. Now we're switching it up a bit, and I came across this artist about a week ago.
No, 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 hell no, 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 I refuse, no, no.
Something like that. I just got it in one of my YouTube recommended videos, and he's called Sunni. I think Sunni Colon, if I would have to say. Yeah, Sunni Colon. Anyway, he's an LA-based artist making contemporary R&B. Think of Daniel Caesar, Steve Lacy, that kind of music. And his latest song called Psychedelic is exactly that. Very melodic, very summery at the same time, but very relaxed. And yeah, go listen to it. I'm sure you won't regret it. Up next, we have another pretty famous artist called Toro. I think most people also know about him. And his latest album called Outer Peace features a song called 50-50, and it's amazing. I think it's very traditional Toro. The piano is beautiful, and then you have the heavily reverbed vocals that makes it so distinguishable. As always, I would say for the last, 6 months or so, well, since it was released, Negro Swan by Blood Orange. I think it was released in August. The entire project is fantastic, and it's always been in my rotation, which is kind of saying a lot, at least to me, because I keep listening to it. But every month or so, there's new songs that I start to appreciate more and more, new songs that I really find interesting. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been heavily into Take Your Time and Hope. And Hope features another singer called Tei Shi, who's amazing, but I'll talk about her later in the video. Negro Swan, like I mentioned, amazing project, worth checking out in its entirety. I think my all-time favorite has to be Dagenham Dream. I also really like Charcoal Baby. Out of Your League is also amazing. Check it out if you haven't. If you haven't, shame on you. As I mentioned, the Negro Swan album features Tei Shi. I think she might be Canadian. Might be. She released a project called Crawl Space a few months ago as well. And one of the tracks called Baby has been in my rotation the last couple of weeks. I think it's an amazing song as well. Very, yeah, Blood Orange-esque. Now we're moving on to more house music. First off, we have Kettenkarussell with a song called Maybe. Bassline is very unique and intriguing. You have subtle vocals every now and then, but the entire track is very simplistic in essence, which makes it so much more enjoyable to listen to. It's not a strain whatsoever. It's very easy listening. Having said that, the track is ever changing, and that's also what keeps your attention. And yeah, I think it's in general a great song, very melodic.
Maybe this can last forever.
Then we have Cristo, What You Do To Me, but this is the Quasar dirty edit version, whatever. Very 90s New York house inspired, hard hitting. Quasar is another great producer, and he put his own spin on this already great track by Cristo. And yeah, it's really hard hitting, very bouncy, very old school, like I mentioned, 90s New York house feels. Lastly, in terms of house music, I've been listening a lot to Leave With You by 2XM, and it features a vocalist called Qualis. I think the vocals are the best part about this entire song. Really dig the vocals, but the production is also fantastic. It can kind of catch you off guard, which is always interesting to me. Just a quick shout out to that one. I've been listening to that a lot as well. Now this is a bit of a quick fire SoundCloud part of the video. I think SoundCloud has some fantastic obscure music, and sometimes I spend hours just looking, searching, trying to find some new interesting stuff. Sort of like the modern day crate digging, I suppose. But yeah, so here's a quick fire list of some SoundCloud things that I've been fucking with lately. First off, Mia Carucci. She made an edit of an old Gangsta Boo song called Gangsta Walk. It's like a Baile edit, so a lot of Brazilian drums, very bouncy. Then we have DJ Victor Borghi and his song called Thug 10. It's an edit of a Young Thug song called Dripping, I believe. Slight dancehall feels, also a lot of fun.
Leave me alone, man. I just want the money. I'll get back with you when I'm done, okay? Listen up, hey. I done spent a bad 100 bands on a nigga. Boy, I'm coming. I'm coming in your lane.
And then lastly, there's this project by Sim called Toolbox 2K18, and it has a lot of great edits. The standout track to me on this project is the Ariana Grande Let Me Love You edit, and yeah, I think it's very roomy, atmospheric, amazing production. Moving on to a completely different side of the spectrum, I want to talk about salsa music, specifically Roberto Roena, Puerto Rican salsa artist, just classic salsa in my opinion. Brass instruments are the key here. And the song that really caught my attention was Que Se Sepa, but he also has another song called Viva Cortijo, which is also fantastic, but yeah. Then we have, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, some Italian swing music. This one is Mina. She's a Italian swing pop musician from the 60s. Her song called Il cielo, una stanza. Fantastic vocals. I don't remember how I got to this song. I'm not sure, I think I was just late night doing some weird YouTube recommendations. Fantastic song. I don't understand Italian a tiny bit, but
Alberi
last up, this is always in the rotation, Sonic Youth. Of course, who doesn't know Sonic Youth? Very edgy. God, I hate it when people say, oh, I listen to Sonic Youth. Oh, you're so cool. Anyway, Sonic Youth, some of the tracks, Dirty Boots, Sugarcane, Teenage Riot, my all-time favorite. What else? Silver Rocket, Touch Me I'm Sick, just a bunch. Oh, and before I forget, the Stone Roses. Don't really like their music, the biggest fan. But one of their songs is called I Wanna Be Adored, and that one is amazing. On repeat for at least the last 3 days, I wanna say. But yeah, that was it. Just a quick list of some of the stuff. There's a lot more in my list, but I just wanna give a rundown of some of the standout tracks, the most listened to, my favorite tracks of the last couple of weeks. Like I mentioned, it changes every week, every 2 weeks, every month. So maybe I'll do another video in a couple of weeks where I'll discuss some other artists if you guys like this type of video. I love doing this because, like I mentioned, music is probably my biggest obsession in life, and I think it's always interesting finding new stuff, at least new for me, that I like to share with other people and maybe put people onto some new stuff as well. But yeah, for now, go listen to some of the music, get out of your comfort zone. If you don't like something, just try it. Who knows where you'll end up. I'll be sure to leave a link to all of the music I've mentioned in the description, and yeah, see you next time. Deuces.